everybody, it's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. I have returning guest, friend of the pod. Luke, how are you?
Good. Nice to be here.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
Thank you. And my chaperone wig, Midwest princess.
I'm obsessed.
So obsessed. You look
so
even
big.
better.
Thank you so much. This is actually her first wear. I bought this one last year. She might see the light of day this Halloween. We'll see.
I think I could tend to see your stylist at some point. Looks like you got a nice treatment, and I could use some help.
I am impressed by how big yours is. It's just vivacious.
Sure. That's one word.
Yeah.
That's certainly one word for the wig. Yep.
Oh, you have lots of secrets up there.
Certainly. Lots of secrets.
Well, I love that you love a costume.
Love a costume.
So thanks for being down to wear these.
Always.
Actually, it was your idea, so I can't even take credit.
Well, I was like, I need to get back on there, and I want to go in a fall so we can wear a costume. I guess we could have worn a costume whenever. Like, there's
there are
no
no rules. It's so
set
important
the
to remember
rules.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Catch us on here in winter wearing wigs.
Literally. What is your favorite costume that you've ever done so far?
That's such a good question. I feel like my answer is different in a childhood context or as an adult. As an adult, I feel like me and my friend Leif, also friend of the pod, who was on with me last time.
You guys slay your costumes every year.
We do love a duo costume. We have done two now the past 2 years. The first one was Lizzie McGuire and Isabella from the Lizzie McGuire movie, famously.
Iconic.
And I think that people weren't expecting it out of us. So year one definitely brought the shock value, I would say.
Yeah.
And also we that year had made a TikTok that went so minorly viral, literally 40K views, nothing crazy. But we were like, okay, yeah, we really killed that.
Ate that shit up.
Exactly. And then we went to Boys Town that night too, and the lines were crazy everywhere. So we were waiting in line at Splash, and truly dozens of people came up and took photos with us. It was
that's so fun.
I feel like I made it.
Okay.
So that was fun. And then last year we did American Girl Dolls. He was Kate Kittredge and I was Molly, which was just also classic. But I feel like nothing can really top year one with those Lizzie and Isabella fits.
Those are such iconic costumes that that movie is just such a cult classic that you can't beat it.
It hit. And I feel like every year you see a Lizzie and an Isabella out at the bar, but when it's two men, it just hits a little different, and I think it hit different.
So true.
So that is probably my favorite as an adult, but I will have to say as a kid one year, which my family and I still talk about, I honestly don't even know exactly how this came to be, but it ended up being pretty iconic. I think it was, you remember trick-or-treating as a Wisconsin kid growing up? Some Halloweens, it would be fucking cold.
Oh, 100%. Ice cold.
Snowing.
Yeah.
And so one year, I feel like what had to have happened is plan A of my costume couldn't carry the heat.
Sure.
It was not of the temperature. It needed to be warmer, and my mom was out on a business trip, so my dad was left to fend for himself.
Classic.
And I walked out of the door that year to go trick-or-treating dressed as a bag of trash. He cut out the bottom of a garbage bag, put it around my legs, and then stuffed it with newspaper bunches.
My God.
And so I truly was wearing a bag of trash, which is
oh my God,
honestly hilarious.
How old were you?
Oh my God, I don't know, 6.
And you were down?
Yeah, I think I thought it was so funny.
Totally.
So that one is also really, really memorable as a kid. But what about you?
I feel as a kid, it's so funny. I think it's hilarious when parents let their kids pick their own costumes.
Totally.
And my parents were very much of that. My parents would let me dress myself, which cardinal sin. I looked insane every day that I
absolutely
went to school.
Hello, look at my wig. So you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. But I have two when I was a kid. There was one year where I decided to dress up as my exact cat. So her name was Twinkles. I got her when I was 4. And so my mom was like, okay, how can we make this work? Bought me, she was a calico, so she was white mostly, but she had little spots of orange and brown and black. And my mom bought me a full white sweatsuit and literally painted her exact markings on it.
Oh my God.
And then got me cat ears, sewed a tail onto my sweatpants. And we were literally twins.
Wait, that is so cute.
So that was
Did
really
Sparkles get to
good.
come out with you trick-or-treating, or did she have to stay
No,
home?
she stayed home.
Totally. To hand out the candy.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, she manned the door.
It's an important job.
Yeah, it is.
Not everyone can be out gallivanting the streets.
true.
Someone's got to stay home.
So true.
That is hilarious. But it's like people on the streets didn't know you were your exact cat.
I think you could tell I was a cat.
Totally.
But I hope. Like, I'm kind of looking back on like, maybe it was giving cow.
No, I think they knew you were a cat. I don't think they knew you were your cat.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. There was also one year where I told my mom I wanted to be a button.
Okay.
Like a literal button.
Mm-hmm.
And so she made that happen for me as well.
How?
I think I was wearing an all black outfit, and then she cut out like two giant pieces of cardboard and hooked them together by string.
Totally.
So I kind of just, could put it over my shoulders.
Sure.
And then sewed like the little cross on it.
Oh.
And so I was a button, and everyone else was like a superhero or like, the red M&M.
Right.
And I was like a button.
A button.
So that's cool.
That's perks of having a mom as an artist
So
too. I'm like, she was
true.
probably so down to be like, how
Absolutely.
crazy can we get this year?
Mine were always DIY.
Fun.
Which I think I still like to have an element of that. Like, I try my best not to buy like a straight out of the box costume, but I'm probably still gonna buy. I'm not getting the sewing machine per se.
Sure.
But like, I'll be scouring the thrift stores
Absolutely.
for whatever I need, and I'll try to make it work.
Absolutely. No, and I will be ordering 1,000 Amazon packages
100%
between now and October 31st.
Yes.
So.
It's so funny that you say that, because so for my costume for Kyle's party, I was Paris Hilton, for those of you that don't know. And I had ordered a wig off of Amazon, and I was waiting for it to come. And James and I were in Madison at his family reunion, and my wig was supposed to show up while we were gone. And so it was like on a Sunday or something. And then we got home kind of late, and I honestly forgot about it. And then it wasn't until like Wednesday that I was like, oh, fuck, my wig. And I think that entire week I had only left the house through the back door to like get into the car. So I don't think I had even like been in our front entryway.
Totally.
And I went down there to see if, the girls in my building will usually like bring in my packages. And there were a few down there. So I got upstairs, opened those up. My wig was nowhere to be found. And I checked Amazon, and it said delivered. And then there was a picture of it literally on my doorstep. And I asked the girls like if anyone had taken my wig or accidentally into the house or whatever, my package. At this time, nobody knew what was inside it. They're like, no, sorry. Like, we left a couple of packages for you, but if it's not those, like, the answer is no. So somebody definitely stole my wig off of my front porch. And I'm like, of all the things, like, you're opening that up, like, that has to be so unbelievably useless to you.
Totally.
I can't
At that
even
rate,
imagine.
bring it back.
No,
Just return it.
literally.
Come on.
Right. No hard feelings.
God. I hate when packages get stolen, but that is hilarious.
I know, and I'm kind of embarrassed that somebody did find out that somebody out there knows that I ordered this wig.
Totally. Totally.
But you gotta do what you
They're
gotta
probably
do.
out there wearing it.
Seriously, I see somebody in. I'm like,
You're
it's
blonde.
you.
It's you. You start like
Yeah.
tugging on people's hair who have blonde hair, just checking. Just checking.
Just checking.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I also have made some Amazon purchases before Kyle's party this weekend, but my favorite was that. Did you see my basketball purse that I was wearing?
Yes, and I was loving how much you were playing. It was such a
Totally.
useful prop.
Totally. I wore it on Sunday. I'm like, this is gonna become my everyday.
She's in the
bag.
rotation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just big enough to fit my phone. Some
Wait,
Starburst.
you can fit a whole cell phone in there?
Yeah, one whole cell phone. Probably not
Wow.
two.
Okay.
And my iPhone 11, maybe not an iPhone 15
Okay.
Max Pro.
Right.
But God, it's amazing. And it has the basketball written in cursive on it, just in case you forget.
Right.
Yeah. So that was like
Sometimes you need a label.
Exactly. And that was, so one of my most proud Amazon purchases as of late. I got my $12.99 worth out of that for sure.
Okay, wait. I'm loving that you put Do you actually have Starburst in there?
I did. I did, and I do. I think. Yeah.
Is that something that you like to keep on you? You got to keep that thing on you?
I do keep a stockpile of Starburst at my
Okay.
apartment, and then they find themselves in my pockets.
Love.
I woke up on Sunday with a handful of them on my bedside table, just in case I got a little hungry.
Totally.
Yep.
That's just looking out for future you.
Exactly. It's called being resourceful.
So true.
Yeah.
So you're a candy guy.
I'm a candy guy.
I would say same.
Yeah.
Are you exclusively like that kind of candy, or do you like chocolate?
I'm more of like a sugar gummy. I'm honestly more of like a sour gummy, but like
Okay.
of the sugar realm over the chocolate realm.
Like, what was like the bet? Like, when you went trick or treating, like, what were you trading for?
Well, this is gonna make I've said this before, and people are like, that is actually like serial killer. Like my favorite candy of all time is Smarties.
Okay.
Which I'm like, when people are like, that is so crazy, I'm like, I actually don't think it is. I'm like, okay, Milky Way. Like, ew.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, no. So I would be trading my sister for the Starburst, Smarties, Skittles.
Yes.
Like, have my Reese's.
Okay.
Peanut butter? No.
I actually also think Reese's are overrated.
I like them. I'll eat them.
I like them fine. I'm not a hater.
No, I'm
but
not.
I think they are so like king of the castle when it comes
Agreed.
to candy, and I don't agree.
Agreed. Well, where do you fall in the sugar chocolate camp?
I think that I am somehow like right in the center.
Sure.
I love chocolate. Like, I think I used to like chocolate more, but James loves candy.
Okay.
And so I feel like often we have like sugary gummy candy in the house, which I just don't think I had that. Like, I was never around that as much as a kid.
Okay.
And now that I have had this level of exposure, I get it.
Totally.
It's addicting.
Totally.
James loves like Nerds clusters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those
The
are
pink
constantly,
bag.
Yeah.
The blue bag is also like fine, but the pink bag is better. That candy has turned into a staple of mine over the last like year to two. Yeah.
I get why.
Absolutely.
It's a must have. I also recently rediscovered my GoPuff history is so crazy. Like, I just like get candy on there when I'm like hammered. It's so bad. But I recently discovered Gushers.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. My friend growing up,
Crazy.
Jacob, always had Gushers in his lunch.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to those at an early age. But I liked like fruit snacks, like the
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo fruit snacks growing up.
same.
I didn't need the little special surprise inside. That kind of like grossed me
fair.
out.
That's fair.
They
They feel like they should be illegal. Like, something about them, I'm like, this can't be FDA approved.
Totally. What is it? And how doesn't it harden?
I know.
Mm.
It is disturbing. And like, reaching your hand into that bag, especially as it starts to get lower, is the stickiest.
Well, they're
fucking-
all one clump.
Yeah.
Like, you have to kind of pull them apart in my
I know.
experience.
It's just crazy.
It is crazy.
And I have such a like, maybe this is like minor OCD or I'm having some sort of texture aversion, but I have to like immediately wash my hands. Like, if I'm eating like Cheetos
Yeah.
or anything that just like, and so Gushers for me are really I have to be near a sink.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah. But I love chocolate too. I feel like I'm with you on the Milk Duds
Yeah.
because I've had so many teeth issues. Those are not safe. for
Those are
me.
risky business.
Yeah.
When you start tiptoeing into caramel,
Right.
you got to be careful what you're asking for.
You really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like when I used to like candy was so fun like when you were younger and you were trick or treating because like I was like a little bit of a pushover too. It's like if somebody wanted my stuff, I'm like, sure.
Like who? Aren't you an only child? Who was taking your candy?
I feel like I would go trick or treating with my friends and we'd like all get back and like dump our
okay.
pillowcases out and like
Sure.
trade. And I'm like, okay, you can take whatever you want.
Of like your hard-earned harvest. You're like,
Literally.
here.
I know. So we're trying to learn. I feel like that was my first like foray into sharing, and I was like,
Totally.
"This is how you're supposed to do it.
You
Give
just
away
give it
all your
up.
stuff."
Oh.
So funny. Do you ever miss trick or treating?
Yeah. I feel like that was so fun.
It was
and
so
like,
fun.
I remember you would like go because we always trick or treated on Halloween. Like I know
Yeah.
some places do it like always on the Sunday. So there would be some years when it'd be like we would be at school and it would be like, oh my God, when's it gonna be 3:00 so I
Yeah.
can go home and get my costume on and meet back up with my friends.
So true.
And yeah, I'm from like a really small town in Wisconsin, and so like we really like hit up the whole town, like the
Yeah.
whole like 400 person town. And there was like one tiny like little subset of houses that we called like the rich people houses because like relatively they were
Totally.
and they
They're
gave out
giving
like
out
the
king
best
size.
shit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel
So
like
we
it
hit
was
those
so
up.
fun to like see all the decorations too.
Yeah.
I need to like walk around my fucking neighborhood more or something.
Totally.
Because I haven't honestly seen a ton over here. I know Annie sometimes gets some good stuff by her.
There's some good ones by me. There's like a stretch of like orchard, like whatever in Lincoln Park that a lot of houses decorate. And there's this one that has this really amazing skeleton like spewing green vomit into this like
shit.
big hazard vat. And I like walked by it this weekend, or I walked by it like the day after the sweat tour last week, and I sent a video to all my friends. I was like, me today after the sweat tour.
100%.
Yeah. So it is good to see yourself in
Right.
representation matters when it comes to Halloween decorations. And I saw myself in that skeleton that day.
Okay, wait. How was Sweat Tour?
Amazing.
I
It
can
was
only
amazing.
imagine. My biggest life regret is not going.
It really was a wonderful experience, I would say. I was frankly showed up for Troy, and I stayed for Troy, and I am like will always stand Troy now
Yeah.
after watching that. And Charlie did amazing too, but I was like this. I've like always loved Troy Sivan. It was my first time seeing him live,
Yeah.
and I was
He
like,
is so phenomenal.
he's hot. He's
Yeah.
fun. He like
A
gets it.
performer.
He's a performer. I was screaming.
Yeah.
I was screaming.
I feel like I've heard like a lot of the feedback has been like he was probably a little bit more like, yeah, just like commanding the stage, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Charlie is used to being like a DJ.
Totally. Well, Charlie is just like hot girl.
Yeah.
Commands the room. Like she really owned the place, but it just is like for a 2-hour set, you can only strut the stage so many
100%.
times before like I wasn't losing interest. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but it did. I was like, Troy's dancers could come out and strut behind you or
Yeah.
something too. Like
So
Troy
true.
just had a whole ensemble
Production.
Yeah, it was amazing. But she did amazing too. It was a Monday night,
Right.
and then
I am surprised that they did that for Chicago.
yeah, it feels rude.
Yeah.
It feels like a personal attack, because then I found myself out till 2 a.m. in Boys Town.
100%. As you should.
Yep, absolutely. And then that next day at work was really tough.
Yep. That's a work from bed day for sure.
That was WFB work from bed. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's so fucking fun though. I'm so sad I didn't go. I feel like when I was like looking at tickets, James and I were like, we're gonna go, and then they sold out so unbelievably fast.
Well, tickets these days, I'm like, I've recently gotten really into Role Model, who was opening up for Gracie Abrams
Yes.
like just
I love
last
Role Model,
week.
yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my, and I also love Gracie too. So I was like, oh, it would be so fun to see them. They were at Aragon.
Okay.
I was like, I bet there's
Perfect
tickets
venue.
available. Yeah. So I looked, and they're literally $300. I
Holy
was like,
shit.
for them, like they're amazing. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But like, I was like, I can't fucking do this.
That was resale.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
resale.
I know Charlie tickets were like $400 resale, and I was like, I'll go to a stadium show for the right person, and they are the right people, but I don't go to those that often.
Yeah.
I just feel like the tickets I can afford at those are, I can't actually see them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we just got Dua Lipa tickets, and I paid like $170 or something for like 200 level, and I'm
Yeah.
like that. Which, frankly, I feel like anything in the 100s these days is like, okay, I guess a good deal.
Yeah.
But like, still, like, oh, I would wish I was closer for
I
almost
know.
$200.
I know.
But they're so fun though. Like but it's Dua Lipa's. I bought them on like, I don't know, September 15th or something. It's September 5th next year.
Right.
But that means it's gonna feel like fake money. It's gonna feel like
That's
I
so
never
true.
paid for it when I went to that.
That
When I
is
go
the
to that show.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have to do something a year out,
Totally.
that is. It's actually a free show.
Totally. Did you go to Remy Wolf recently?
Yes.
How was that?
Oh my God, so good. I've actually been wanting to see her for years and years and years.
So good.
And so this was perfect. I feel like there was like maybe a show in Madison we were going to go to, or maybe it was even here, and then like pandemic happened or
Yeah.
something. So it's been a long time coming. I think I personally wish she would have played a little bit more of her old songs. Just because that was like the concert I had initially missed.
Totally.
But it was so good. She was so fun. It was fucking packed in there.
Yep.
Like unbelievably crazy.
Was that at Aragon too?
Sometimes I think they oversell.
I saw Kim Petras there, and I like could not breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm like tall enough to be like get
yes.
get some air coming in these vents. But my like shorter friends, I'm like, y'all good down there?
I know.
Because I'm gonna pass out.
No, 100%.
So I've had my interesting experiences there too.
And it's crazy in there.
Yes.
Like, the way that they set that up, first of all, I have beef with how many pillars there are.
Sure.
Because, like, either don't sell enough tickets where anybody's behind the pillars, or knock a couple of these bad boys down.
Right. What are we doing?
Yeah. Are these load bearing? But yeah. And I feel like we were like up like pretty much in the back, like near the bar.
Sometimes That's fine enough by me.
I agree.
That is fine enough by me. No, and that place, the exit at the end of the show, I'm like,
oh, it takes an hour to get out.
It takes an hour, and please don't trample me.
I know.
Please.
Right.
I'm too cute to be trampled.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah, no. Okay, but fun. I saw Remy, like, one of my first concerts out of COVID. Like, maybe she was my first one that I went back to post-pandemic and, like, loved it.
Oh, my
like,
God. Such
she was
high
just
energy.
amazing.
Yeah. So fun.
So fun.
So good. And, like, yeah. My one plus about Argonne, though, huge women's restroom.
Amazing.
Huge. That
love
never
that.
happens.
No. The Salt Shed bathrooms, my favorite bathrooms at
my
any
God.
concert venue.
And clean.
Clean. A million possibilities
Yes.
of urinals and stalls.
Yes.
Pick your poison.
Literally.
Pick one.
Have two.
Two. You can have both. Yeah. No,
Okay, but have
amazing.
you heard about the bats?
No.
Apparently at a recent salt shed, oh my God, show, people were exposed to bats, and now a bunch of people are supposed to go get tested for rabies.
What do you mean exposed to bats?
Like, I guess bats were there. I don't know if, like, bats were, like, I haven't heard any confirmation on whether anyone was, like, bitten, but
Oh my God.
apparently there were bats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
That changes some things.
I
I hope they weren't in the bathroom.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's spooky. Rabies shots are supposed to be so painful too.
Yeah.
That'd be a bummer.
Don't tell Beatrix. She has to get hers this week.
Oh, Beatrix, girl.
So crazy being a pet owner these days.
I
We actually
know.
took them last week, and she was being too big of a bitch at the vet, and they were like, she has to come back next week on drugs. And we were like,
Like,
right.
chill her out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's frankly me when I go to the doctor too. I get so stressed.
Oh my God, same.
Like, you need to show up on drugs next time. That's what they say.
Yeah, right. But the prescription is,
Oh my God.
please relax before you come.
No, literally, I need a Xanax before I get my COVID and flu boosters here this week.
I know.
God.
Oh, good for you.
I know. Well, I don't have an appointment set. That was kind of me just saying that I'm going to do that
Okay.
this week, but maybe it's like one of those things, speak it into existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Accountability buddies.
Yep. Yeah. My plan with my primary care was like, do it like 2 weeks before Halloween because then you'll hopefully the immunity hits. So I'm like, totally, yeah, I'll do it middle of October.
Right.
And now it's middle of October and it's like, fuck.
Well, there's never a good time to do it, but I will say our murder mystery party last year was a super spreader.
Sure was. It sure was.
So I
But I
actually
actually didn't get it.
Oh my
You
God,
didn't either?
see?
Losers, our friends.
No, literally. I think it was because I didn't play Boom Cup.
Oh, see, well, do I want to put this on the pod? I'm such a little bitch when it comes to Boom Cup. I will start the game, but when I see those cups dwindling,
Yeah.
someone's calling my name in the other room. I am like stepping back out of that table. I'm like, I'm not doing that Boom Cup because Aubrey's out here with the tartar sauce,
yeah.
with the pickled juice. I'm
Shit
like,
gets nasty.
can we just? What if it's just like a big cup of White Claw? Like that's me. I'm like
Literally.
such a baby about it.
Well, it's kind of like we are grown adults now. How about we treat each other with respect?
Totally. Totally. At Leif's birthday party, Greg filled it with expired beef broth. I'm like, people are gonna
People will literally die.
be hospitalized from this.
Oh my God.
So
There will be casualties.
exactly, and it won't be me.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like the Homer Simpson meme going into the shrubs.
Yeah.
That's me towards the end of the Boom Cup game.
Yes.
So hard to say if I played or not when the COVID super spreader happened, but I came out great.
I feel like for me, that is an area, drinking games, maybe with the exception, well, for honestly, yeah, drinking games are an area where my competitive side does not come out.
Sure. You like could not care less.
Yeah.
So it's drinking games and it's trick or treat candy. You're
Yeah.
like, y'all have it.
Yeah.
Y'all have it.
No, right. Like, it's all good.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like it for community. I think
Totally.
that's powerful. I am too old to chug.
I know.
So much at this point.
Same.
I'm like, my chugging years are behind me. I put them in. I put in my time.
Totally.
And
I didn't
now
even do
just
that.
I don't have to, and I'm not going to.
I know. I completely agree. Aubrey like iced me the other day.
Don't waste
and I
your
was
time
like,
icing me.
I will sip on this.
Sure, because it actually tastes kind of
I will
good.
sip on this Smirnoff Ice.
But
Yeah.
I am not getting down on one knee and chugging
No, I'm
this.
not. And
No.
in fact, I physically couldn't.
No,
My body would reject it.
absolutely.
The Smirnoff Ice would land on you instead.
Totally. No, at this point, too, my friends just kind of know it would be a waste of a bit on me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right.
Good. You got the message.
I
No
know.
skin on my back.
Yes. Oh my God, 100%. I could not agree more.
But I want to be there for it.
Yeah.
Because community.
No, and it's so funny when it's happening to somebody who's not me.
Exactly. Oh, watching Leif drink the beef broth that I knew was in that boom cup. I loved it.
Oh my God.
Couldn't have been me.
That's insane.
But, yeah. God,
and he's still with us to this day.
Supposedly.
Right.
Right.
It was funny. We did some we rented like a boat this summer on the Chicago. Were we on the river or the lake? I actually can't remember. But I think that like James does still think that he can chug, and participated in. I don't even. I might have done snorkels or something, and then like. I just 2-3 minutes later saw him like projectile vomit off the back of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is, people were just swimming in there. Not very many people saw it. And I was like, I can't decide if I should tell everyone or just maybe let that one slide.
God, my hangovers have been so bad.
So bad.
So bad lately. There was after Leif's birthday, so now I'm like, well, maybe I did have a sip of the boom cup, which I of course didn't. But I was so hungover that next day. But it was like right in the process of us moving, and I had 2 Facebook Marketplace pickups.
No.
This was at the point where like I had physically moved into my new apartment, but we still had some overlap with our old apartment, and I still had my shit that I was trying to sell at the old place.
Yes.
And so I'm sleeping at the new place, but have 2 Facebook Marketplace pickups at
That's
the old place.
my worst nightmare.
And so I'm throwing up, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting the message from Facebook Marketplace, on our way. I have to march my sorry ass down the street. I'm like, these people walking past me down Clark Street don't know how brave I'm being right now. They don't know how brave I'm being. And then I get up there and have to walk down my 3-story walk up this heavy ass IKEA dresser with Emma's boyfriend, like whatever. And I'm like making small talk, and I'm like, y'all don't even know.
Totally.
You don't even know. And then I went back to my apartment, my new apartment, threw up, walked back and did it a second time.
No.
With my dining room table just as heavy. And those people, chatty.
That's the worst.
We're not friends.
In fact, we'll never see each other again.
We're business partners.
We are business partners.
Don't talk to me. I'm hungover.
Well, and that's one of those things, too, where, like, yeah, I want to get this over and done with as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. Frankly, I know that you guys do, too.
Mm-hmm.
You just want this. You want to take this home. You want to be the proud owner of whatever item I am gifting to you. That's, like, one of those things where if we didn't live in an apartment and there was not a chance it would be stolen, I would put it outside.
Absolutely.
I want little to no human interaction.
Yep. As soon as the door shuts behind you, your problem, not mine.
100%.
I sold this like futon, and I saw the car that it was going in, and I said, it's not fitting in there, or it's not fitting in there easily. One or the two. Not my problem. I shut that door and I walked right back up those stairs. I said, good luck. Your problem now.
Good for
Venmo
you.
came through. That's all I care about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's called doing business.
Straight up. Did you peek outside to see how long it took them before they left?
No. I left out the back door because I was like, I can't risk seeing y'all again.
Run into each other.
Nope.
Not like this.
Not like this. Not in this economy. No.
Oh my God. Yeah, my hangovers have gotten really bad too. And I feel like for me, a bad hangover physically is one thing, but like my anxiety has gotten so much worse. And I'm not a very anxious, not to brag, I'm not a very anxious person, like in my normal life, I wouldn't say. And that was not something that like I felt like my hangovers did to me in college. But now I like wake up at the crack of dawn and I am so unbelievably stressed about literally everything. And I'm like, I don't even know. I can't fall back asleep, but I know that I need to sleep so bad in order to sleep off whatever is going on with the rest of me.
Totally.
And there's nothing to even be worried about, but I'm worried.
I'm stressing. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is so unfun.
No, it's not fun. It is not fun. I feel like I was that way like for sure a couple of years ago, and then like now I as hard as it is, try to force myself to fucking do something on Sunday, because otherwise I just sit there and the
smart.
worry and stress and anxiety of it all.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at least I'm walking around or something.
No, so
I don't
true.
know. It is tough though.
Yeah.
It's tough what we put our bodies through.
Oh my God, I know. She's a trooper.
I know. I know.
Where did you guys end up going after Kyle's, or how late did you stay out?
We stayed at Splash the entire time.
I guess where else can you go in your costume?
Totally. Totally.
It's important to, sort of be within numbers.
Exactly.
Travel in groups.
Yep. Yeah, no, stayed at Splash the whole time. We like stayed like we probably walked out the door and they probably called bar clubs.
Oh my God,
whatever.
iconic.
So it
Shut the
wasn't
place
like
down.
effectively. Yeah. Yeah, and then Leif and I walked home, and my plan was to order McDonald's. But as I was explaining to you, for
Yes.
the listeners of the pod, you might remember my good last time was planning to order McDonald's and having it delivered right when you get home from the bar,
Which I did.
which Sam did, and she showed
I'm taking notes.
amazing video of it. Yeah, she's literally rubbing it in my face. But I moved now. My new apartment is right next door to McDonald's, and
Which you would think would be
a perk, but they close the indoors at midnight, and they only do drive-through, but they don't allow you to walk through the drive-through, so you have to drive through the drive-through.
Right.
And as someone who is both drunk and carless, that is
Right.
not possible.
Yeah, not an option.
And so my only option is to order it for delivery, which is again our walls touch. It is truly right next door. So it is like the most embarrassing delivery order to order McDonald's. So then I didn't even end up ordering it. And then I needed to because when I was
Yeah.
coming over on Sunday, and I was like, I wish I had 10 chicken nuggets last night.
No, totally. It really hit, I'll be honest.
I believe it. Did you get a crisp Diet Coke?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Extra large.
Mm-hmm. So then you go to bed hydrated and full.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
God. Almost lost the
It was so funny because recently I've been on a McDonald's kick, to be
Mhm.
honest. And recently,
It's good.
oh my God, nothing hits like McDonald's.
good.
Really, truly. But we got home pretty late, and the McDonald's by us, I think they switch over to breakfast at 4.
Okay.
And so I had put in my order probably at like 3:50 and was waiting. And then they canceled my order because I think they had completely switched over to breakfast, and I don't know why they just couldn't fucking do it anymore. Canceled it, refunded me, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll get a McGriddle.
I guess I'll get a bacon, egg, and cheese
Literally. So then I put in a new order for breakfast.
and that came.
And it did come.
God. Wow.
So, I know.
4 a.m. That is like a quick turnover time. It's like, give me some time.
No,
I was with my
seriously.
friend.
Yeah, literally.
God, boring McDonald's.
No, I know.
No, but McDonald's is fucking good. And anyone who says otherwise, I'm like, grow up.
I know.
Get off your high horse. It's good.
It is so
and don't
good.
tell me what you think is in the chicken McNuggets. I don't care.
It's none of our business.
I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I'm not asking.
No, we literally don't want to know.
No. God, it's so good.
I know. It really is. Like, I don't know how you can honestly turn your nose up at McDonald's because nothing tastes like that.
No.
And there's not a better Diet Coke in the city. I'll say it.
In the world, dare I say. It is so good. Although I will say I've really been liking the little mini cans of Diet Coke. Those ones are pretty crisp too. I mean, not as good as a fountain, and let alone a fountain McDonald's Diet Coke, but those I'm like, this will get the job done.
There's something fun about something mini.
Totally.
Yeah.
Except that I'm like, well, now I can have 4 of them because it's so small.
Yeah, right.
We are like really big into soda streams. Do you use?
Okay,
do you
so
have
I
history
don't
with?
have one, but we did get one for James's mom for, I believe, a birthday or Christmas a couple years back. So I have access.
You've been exposed.
Yeah.
I could not have better things to say about my soda stream.
Okay.
It is probably my favorite kitchen utensil appliance
Totally.
piece. It is amazing. We have this beverage that we call an orange dream,
Oh
and
my
it tastes
God, yes.
exactly like an orange dream. So it's soda stream. So it's soda stream and orange Mio, and that's it.
Oh my
but
God,
it's like
no
amazing.
way.
It tastes like a really amazing orange soda.
Wow.
But I bring this up because it's Pepsi, not Coke. But Pepsi puts out just like the syrup or whatever it is to
Sure.
put in like the soda stream mixture.
Yes.
And I recently tried their like Pepsi Zero whatever one, and it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
It's not as like good as like a Diet Coke first off, or like a fountain one, but like
Yeah.
because you're controlling your own soda stream aspect, you can get that shit pretty bubbly.
That makes
and
sense.
it can be like pretty crisp. Honestly, the hardest part is getting the right ratio of this like syrup thing. And they like give you a little pouring cup as the lid, but it's not marked. I'm like, tell me where to
Right.
do. Give
I
me
need
something.
measurements.
I'm not a chef.
I'm not a
so it's
scientist.
like I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. Yeah, but it's pretty good.
Okay, well, I can't wait to try an orange dream.
Yes. Oh, and then we do oh God, what do we call them? So then we make them alcoholic, and they're
Wait,
so
fun.
good.
Okay, so and you're getting your wait, does Mio have electrolytes?
It
Maybe
does
it's
if we
just
say
flavor.
it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. We're starting that rumor.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it is so good, and yeah, no, amazing.
Wow, you're making me thirsty just talking about it. Would you say you gravitate towards a carbonated beverage?
I feel like I have friends that are more of like a LaCroix hoe than I am. Like
Yeah.
I can drink the tap water.
Yeah.
What I think I gravitate towards them more is like a cool beverage. Like I would prefer
Okay.
everything chilled. Like that is I think my first and foremost, and then fizzy. I'm like okay.
Yeah. See,
What
I
about
go back
you?
and forth on that. My only thing that I don't like chilled is water. I like room temperature water.
Okay. I've heard that's better for your body. Frankly,
Well, and for me, I think it's because I actually don't like water.
you don't.
I don't like water. I find water to be incredibly boring, tasteless. I wish I never had to drink it.
Oh my God, I low-key kind of love it.
And I think for me, if it's room temp, I like barely notice it's there.
Okay, well then you need to get a soda stream and start drinking Orange Dream because it's literally just drinking water and it's gonna change your life. And you will only drink Orange Dreams. I'm not kidding.
I think that could become a problem. That could be a quick
I don't
addiction.
see a problem though.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably helping your health.
No, I know. I like really am not a hydrated person.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's hard.
I
And the
know.
recommendations, it's like you're setting the standards too high. Don't
I
they say like a
completely
gallon a day or
agree.
something? I'm like, grow up.
Well, and for a little while, when my previous job in Madison, I like was the marketing manager for a salon.
Fun.
And I was very much during that era where every girl who worked at the salon had those one fucking water bottles that had like the measurements on them of like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Like, fuck you. You haven't drank anything.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill yourself. You've barely had one sip.
Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously.
And I feel like those were honestly just so like those turned me off from the idea of water entirely.
Well, it's toxic water culture.
It
And no one's talking about
is.
toxic
No
water
one's
culture
talking
enough.
about
Stop
that.
shoving it down my throat.
No, seriously.
I'll,
Keep that to yourself.
I'll approach it how and when and where I want to approach it.
Completely. Yeah. So that was sort of my and I've always been this way. My mom was always like really struggling to get me to like
Totally.
drink the doctor recommended amount of liquids.
Mhm.
I loved juice.
Oh,
I
okay.
was very much a juice girl.
Yeah.
I still to this day like go to sleep looking forward to my glass of orange juice in the morning.
Okay, that's adorable. That is so cute. I never grew up much of a juice person. I would sometimes get juice boxes in my lunch, like those like high C.
Sure.
I think I would always get like a pink lemonade flavor or something, but that was like the extent of it.
Really?
Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. Not a
We-
core memory of mine.
Tons of juice. I feel like my parents were also big into like the Simply Lemonade.
Oh, okay.
So we had a
Yum.
lot of that in the house.
Yum.
Yeah.
We were a lemonade household in the summer months for sure. We'd always have like a pitcher of lemonade. My dad
So
always liked
good.
that, which I also low-key had so much of, and probably had so much sugar in that.
You grew up in Wisconsin. Did you drink milk?
Yeah.
Do you still drink milk?
No. No. But I don't hate milk, but I feel like I just like wouldn't keep it stocked.
Yeah.
Like my access to milk is just so different now than it used to be, I would say.
Yeah.
But I would like never throw a fuss drinking it at the table. My sister never really liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely drank a ton of milk as a kid. James is still a milk drinker.
Sure.
So we keep
That
it in the
kind of
house.
makes sense.
I agree.
I'm like, yeah, I would put money
yeah,
on
that's
that.
a read.
Yeah. No, it's because his bones are so healthy.
Right.
And you can just
He's so big and strong.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, and like he also, I feel like I'll like still eat cereal once in a while, and he uses milk in like omelets and stuff. So
Okay.
like we definitely always have milk in the house.
Well, as a cooker, is that the word? As one who cooks, I can see that being an ingredient to keep on hand.
yeah. But it's not something that I like am actively like pouring into a cup and taking a sip of.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. And sometimes people who do, I'm like, okay.
Right.
That's a choice.
Do that in private.
Totally.
Yeah.
You can do what you want with your body, but
yeah.
please not around me.
No, right.
Yeah.
That's so fair. Well, should we get into your good, bad, ugly?
We should. I wrote them down just so I wouldn't
Yay.
forget because I was really tossing a few different options around.
I love that about you.
Okay, so good is where we start.
Yes.
Okay, well, my good is micro influencers.
Okay.
I am like so obsessed with vloggers, both via YouTube and via TikTok.
Totally.
And I mean, it really started back when, well, I got really into YouTube during like the classic like David Dobrik phase era.
Absolutely.
That was like when Emma Chamberlain was getting so big. Emma Chamberlain is still my like number one.
No, I'm obsessed with her.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And then
she used to date role model.
yes.
Yeah.
And now I'm a child of divorce.
Yeah, straight up. So,
I know, but I
so
really like her
completely true.
new boyfriend Peter.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it, and I know role model has his pick of the litter, I'm
100%.
sure. So it just is a matter of time. But love Emma. And anyway, so it really opened up the door to other influencers for me, and I've like really become big into like niche communities on YouTube, but like not the world's niches, but like there's eras where like I love UW-Madison vloggers.
Fun.
And so like when I used to have a few who have now like stopped posting because I don't think they're making money. They're not making money.
Sure.
So like they do
Yeah.
and
No one's paying them for this.
and I wish I would go to bat for them to get paid for
Totally.
this, but no one is really. And so I've had a few come and go. And this has really opened up the door. Then I've opened up my landscape to like move-in vlogs. Like I really
Oh my
love
God,
like
yes.
a dorm hall.
Absolutely.
And so then through dorm halls, then I get connected to these like well, really it opened up the door to like this Mormon community for me.
Oh.
And now I'm really big on this one specific family whose daughter is like on a mission right now. And so I watch like the whole journey of going on the mission, and her boyfriend's also on a mission. And
Is
it's
the
like
mom the vlogger or?
yes, it's like a family vlog. Yes.
Okay.
And so
Oh,
then that has kind of
okay.
then now since opened the door to like family vloggers, and then which is now
Oh.
opened the door. My most recent one that I'm really into right now is a family vlogger, but family Disney vloggers. But they're not like kids. Like the kids are like college students, so they're like cool,
Okay.
right? It's cool. And so so
I'd
it has
say.
really evolved over the years, but all of these people have like a pretty relatively small following. But
What size are we talking?
well, the Leroys, which is my Mormon family that I love, they have like 1 million, which is like
Okay.
kind of a lot.
Yeah.
There's some of these like UW-Madison vloggers that their videos will get like 100 views.
Totally.
And they're probably like 20 of them. I'm probably like 30 of them. And their mom is, you know what I mean? So it's
Love.
like small.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's honestly really fun. Like I've recently started watching like Chicago vloggers too,
Yeah.
mostly on TikTok, and it is like so fascinating for me to see like a day in the life living in
Oh
Chicago.
my God.
And
I
I'm like, are
know.
you really a day in your life? You're really taking the train downtown to like go shopping on Michigan Ave?
I know.
Please, I've done
Right.
that once since I've lived here. You
No,
know what I
it's
mean? I'm like,
completely staged.
no one who is doing that. So
Yeah.
it's like I watch it, then I hate watch it, and then I read the
Totally.
comments, and then it's like So
I mean, I totally know exactly what you mean because I feel like I have lots of those people. I'm not as much of a YouTube girly.
okay, you're short form content.
Yeah.
I like long form.
I know. I think
Mhm.
that I could get into it, but I honestly just haven't. Like, YouTube has never been like the platform that I've turned to.
Sure.
I don't know what to look for.
Well, I could put together a playlist. I could send you some names.
Okay.
I like live on YouTube like that. I like don't really watch. I mean, I watch TV too, but
Yeah.
like during the day, I'm not like listening to music or podcasts. I'm like watching your
Yeah,
podcast on
yeah,
YouTube, and
yeah.
I like watch other podcasts on YouTube too,
Yeah.
or I'm watching vlogs.
I
Like,
love a YouTube podcast.
yeah, same. Well,
Yeah.
to me, like a long form vlog isn't that dissimilar to a podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's a
I
lot of
agree.
just like kind of talking about your day,
Yeah.
which I love. And
No.
I love when it's Shanna Leroy doing it. She's so fucking
So
good.
good.
Shanna!
Seriously,
Shout
girl.
out Shanna. I like literally love her. I like would die if I saw her.
Amazing. Where is she located?
Provo, Utah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Home of the Mormons.
Yeah, home of the Mormons, but they're so amazing, and their daughters Perry and Reese are like really big in the like all-star cheer world.
Okay.
And so it's
that
like a
makes
lot
total
of
sense.
their vlogs are a lot of like Kesley going on her mission. Kesley's the older daughter on the mission, and then the daughters are like big like cheer, like working on throwing their tumbling stunts or whatever.
Right.
So you really get a mixed bag when you watch the
I love it. Wait, I can see how that would be addicting.
Yeah.
Slippery slope.
Totally. It's like, is Perry gonna win Summit? I really hope so.
No, seriously,
Can't
we're
wait to
cheering her
tune
on.
in.
Yeah. Cliffhanger.
Yeah. And so these micro influencers, they got me wrapped around their finger.
Well, and I do love, I feel like now I've come across a couple people. Well, and it's so crazy the things your algorithm knows about you. I have come also across people who are like a little TikTok famous that go to UW Madison.
Yep.
Eat that shit up.
Totally.
I find it so fascinating.
Same.
And then I have started finding like kind of just like those little like girly vloggers in Chicago who like, are
I bet I
doing
know
shit
like
like going
exactly what they're talking
downtown
about.
and like, you know, it's like workout class, coffee, going to a coffee shop to work.
Well, and I'm like, why can't that be me?
I know.
Why can't that be me? And you know what it is? It's because I haven't picked up my phone and filmed. It could be me.
Right. I actually completely agree with you.
Maybe one day.
I know.
I would love to, but I don't know what's holding me back.
It's such a commitment, though. It really is.
It really is. It really is.
Like, these girls are putting in work for us.
But I'm ready to be famous.
I completely agree with you.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, let me help in any way that I can. This is just the beginning for us.
I would love that. Frankly, what I want is for like my friend to get famous and for me to kind of like, I'll say it, ride their coattail.
No, like I'm
Bring
trying
me
to
to a
be
party.
the Terry
Yes.
of a Charlie XCX.
Sure. I would love that. I would love that.
Of a Benito
Oh my
Skinner.
God. Yes.
Yeah.
Literally. And then I'll like do something by proxy.
Right.
And I'll pop in and out and whatever.
Absolutely.
So.
But I'm a little bit more undercover.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still want to go grocery shopping. Like, I'm not ready
Right.
to like totally give up regular life.
I completely agree.
But I would stop and pose for some photos with my fans.
Yeah,
Sure.
you guys,
Sure.
no problem.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is that I want my friends to become an influencer and I'll become a micro influencer.
Yes.
Just like my girls.
Love.
Yes.
Okay, well, did you get into
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
same.
Yeah, and it was really, I mean, for me, it was great to see some of my dear friends get involved more so with the like Utah Mormon community. For instance,
we need to spread the word.
Swig.
Okay, yeah.
I've been like dying to try Swig because Shanna is constantly at the Swig drive-thru, and I'm like, that seems so interesting.
So I will say, I had the opportunity.
No.
And I passed it up. And now I deeply regret it. It was before I watched the show. I didn't really understand what it was.
Well, it's because is it the concept of creamer in your soda? Did that turn you off? I can see why.
I was just kind of like, soda shop is giving like 50s. Like, I know I don't need.
It's like, give me a malt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And now I'm deeply regretting it because it was before I had access to sort of the inside scoop on the Mormon culture in this way.
Sure.
And now I'm like, what I wouldn't give to understand the high that these girls feel when they walk into a Swig.
Totally. Leif just asked me what my Swig order would be, and I literally was like, I think I would just get like a Diet Coke with like a splash of lime. And he was like, you can get that anywhere. And I'm like, I'm there for the vibes. I don't want like creamer in my soda.
No, that should also be outlawed.
I saw a TikTok where Tina just sent it to me that was like, new soda shop opening up in like Lakeview East, which like frankly is not that far from me. So I know one of these days I'm gonna find myself strolling in. But it won't be Swig. It'll never be Swig.
Yeah.
Until I find myself in Utah.
Absolutely.
Then it will be Swig.
Well, and it was one of those things where it's also fascinating to me. My friend Kayla, who lives down there, I believe it was her who told me this. Apparently the only reason that they even like, you know, because they don't drink coffee, but they drink soda, and it's like, okay.
Right.
Seems a little hypocritical.
Right.
Is because like Coca-Cola like bought into the LS.
Oh, interesting.
LDS.
Interesting. See, I've never understood that too. It's been confusing to me. The way I've rationalized it in my brain so that I can sleep at night is just like, I feel like it's like something about like the addictive element of it. And I'm like, perhaps caffeine is less addictive in soda than it is. I don't know. But
I think
like,
it's just a giant
those
corporate
are the questions
trick.
that can really keep you up if you don't like find inner peace.
So true.
So, yeah.
Well, and the show is beyond insane. I can't wait for season 2.
The episode when they are in Las Vegas is, I mean, it deserves a daytime.
I absolutely
Is that
agree.
the TV show awards? Oscar?
I think
No,
so.
Oscars are a movie. Yeah, it deserves an Academy Award from the respective Academy of television shows because the Vegas episode's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
When they are at Chippendales and those two are, well, frankly, they are beside themselves because their boyfriends are insane.
Completely insane. Also, absolutely obsessed with the fact that she went to Chippendales when she could pop her baby out at any second.
Absolutely.
Iconic choice.
Totally.
loving that for her.
God, I will say that show was a challenge for me. It took me like 3 or 4 episodes to learn any of their names to their face.
Oh,
They all
look
looked the exact same.
I know.
But I loved it.
Yeah, same.
And I also love Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Lisa Barlow is my birth mother. Another Diet Coke queen.
So true.
So it just is that whole realm. I just feel
I
feel
got some
lucky
good
to
ones
be
down
alive at the same
Yes.
time as them.
That is such a good way to say it.
Yes.
I completely agree.
Yes.
Well, and then when they were like going to the getting their Botox done and getting high off the laughing gas.
Right. Well,
Yeah, I get your fix, girls.
totally. Hey, if that tickles your fancy, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't turn away.
No. God.
So crazy.
I think I would do really well in that life. I think
can see
had I
that
been
for
dealt
you.
a different hand, I'd manage all right
Totally.
over there.
And I completely believe you.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Okay, well,
Okay,
how about
should we
your
do the next
bad?
one? Okay. My bad. My bad is putting in maintenance requests.
Oh my God.
Name
completely
something
agree.
worse. Name something worse.
I can't.
Oh my God. It is so painful. Right now I'm dealing with a situation where I live in a building where we don't have like keys. We have like the fobs.
Right.
And then I'm turning a dial of sorts. There's some issue with the interlockings. Again, I'm not a mechanic. I'm simply just a girl. I put my fob up to the thing. It beeps, flashes green. I start turning the dial. Nothing.
Okay.
For sometimes minutes at end.
Okay.
And I know my neighbor, sweet Debbie, who lives right next to me, is probably hearing my dial go round and round, being like, is he okay?
Right.
Because I can't get in.
Yeah.
And sometimes to the tune of minutes.
right.
Minutes. And it's like the worst when your hands are full and you're carrying heavy things and you have to put stuff down. And then, of course, as soon as you set everything down, you do it once and then it catches and opens.
Naturally.
And sometimes it goes right away. And it's like, what did I do this time to deserve such good fortune?
Right. She's on her best behavior today.
So I'm just sort of dealing with that right now. And there have been previous apartments where, like, I will stand in inches of water before asking
having
that
a
a maintenance
situation.
person come deal with my drain.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
That we can't. Is it because I hate making appointments for myself, even,
know.
let alone my belongings and property?
I know. Let alone the home that I'm spending thousands of dollars on.
Right.
I know.
And that every time I'm standing in the shower, I'm actually in misery because I
Yeah.
hate that this water is touching my ankles. But when the solution is so simple, but I just can't do it. What I tend to do is like I let them all build up, all
Yeah.
of my requests until I'm going to be like out of town for a week. And then when I know that
actually
I will be
smart.
out of the unit for an extended period of time, I will air all my grievances and
Yeah.
say, please
Fix everything.
fix it. Because I can't do the in and out and the back and forth. Because similar
Yeah.
to like getting your oil change, I don't know shit.
I know, same.
Come on in and do what you got to do, but don't involve me.
And I pay not to know shit. I am a renter.
I'm a renter.
It's none of my business.
I'm a renter.
I don't own this property.
Oh my God.
I'm a guest.
I have to tell you the craziest thing, the craziest little small world situation. So at my last apartment, I lived with Leif, as we've discussed. It was a little bit of a fixer-upper.
Okay,
Sure. You've been there. You saw the
I sure
walls.
have, yeah.
It was a great place in concept. And it was fun, and we had a lot of beautiful memories that filled those walls, but those walls were ugly. Everything was disgusting.
Fair.
It had the landlord special of like about 6,000 layers of paint over everything.
Yeah.
And so it was like the apartment itself was not that nice. We made do. We made it work. Our property manager, landlord, leasing agent, I don't know,
Yeah.
titles or affiliations, sucked. He was just
Okay.
like horrible, and he was weird, and he was frankly just not cut out for this line of work. I wish him success in other areas of his life and nothing but overall happiness, but please do not be a property manager.
Yeah.
And we left on not the best terms, I will say. Like, it was just like as we were moving out and they were showing our apartment, he'd be like, yep, we'll give you 48 hours notice before we show it to her. We'll just, all of a sudden he'd be in with a group and we're like, well, where was the 48 hours? What
Right.
happened to that?
Yeah.
And so it's just like things like that is like, you're actually so annoying. I can't
Yeah.
handle you right now. And also his personality was just so annoying. So, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So we're like, thank God, we're moving out of this place. We never have to see this man again. We move into a new place. It's so fun and fine for the first like month. We love our the guy who works at the front desk, Jay. We're like, hey Jay, how's it going, Jay?
Bestie. Yay!
So fun. All of a sudden one day we walk down. Sam is at the front desk. Sam is the old landlord.
Oh no.
What are you doing sitting in this chair?
No way.
So now he works at my new building. Completely different property management, completely different companies. He got a new job and he followed us.
Crazy.
Yes. And
that's a bad omen.
And I'll tell you one thing, he hates to see me coming.
Totally.
I think when he saw Leif and I walk, because Leif and I live in the same building, when he saw us come out together, I think his stomach probably dropped just as much as ours did the first time we saw him. Sworn enemies. Sworn enemies. And I just don't know where we go from here. From this, this is now probably a month ago. I still have not so much as made eye contact with him. I just can't yet.
This is like probably now a situation where you're even seeing him more frequently than you had to at the last place.
Because the last time was on he was on call.
Right.
Here he's
case by case basis.
Here he's downstairs every day.
Every damn day.
Every damn day.
Oh, that completely sucks.
Yeah, so I have to move again. I have to move out.
Yeah, you have simply no other choice.
But maybe that's also why I'm not making these maintenance requests, because I don't want to deal with him.
Oh, that so sucks. That breaks my poor heart.
Yeah.
I will say I've had every single apartment building I've lived in so far has been just like a larger management company situation. Yeah. In this current situation now, our landlord's just like, it's for rent by owner. They own this building. It's the only one I think that they own. And they used to live in our unit.
Oh, nice.
But it's one of those things where, one, they kind of already know everything that's the matter with it because they lived it. Mm-hmm. And also, it feels so much more personal because I just have to like text them and be like, this is broken. Can you fix it pretty please?
That feels nice.
But I will say, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to text them too many times in a row.
Sure.
Or because it's like a little bit more personal. Like, I don't want to be constantly complaining because I love it here. I want to stay.
Right.
And they also, like you and I, normal human beings, not plumbers, not carpenters, not anything but people.
Totally.
And I feel like sometimes they will like come and try to fix things first. I'm like, love the energy, love the spirit, but like, let's get a professional down here, girls.
This isn't a DIY. This is not HGTV. Get someone in here.
So I feel like you honestly just can't win because a part of me is like, I a little bit miss having like a portal.
Totally.
I miss the portal.
Totally. God, there is something that is so... what's the opposite of humanizing?
Yeah.
Not dehumanizing. Whatever. There's something that just is so safe about a portal.
Yes.
Don't look at me. Don't ask me questions. And again, send the portal in.
Yes.
And then hit the road and be gone for a week.
Completely.
Come on in.
Yeah. Do your thing,
Stay
girls.
a while. Kick your feet up. I don't care.
I do not care.
I just want to come back and be able to open my lock and shower when I want to shower and not have it be a bath.
Right.
Is that too much to ask for?
And it's not. At the end of the day, it's really not.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, it's just like if everything could just work how it's supposed to.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. And it's never my fault. I'll say.
Nope, same.
Never anything I did.
It's
structural.
never done anything wrong. Yeah.
No. And I put that in the maintenance request too. I say, just so you know, I'm perfect actually.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you guys really need to be looking inward.
Yep. Do some reflection.
Yeah.
Do some reflection.
And something's going on.
God.
Okay. Ugly.
Well, my ugly was simply just going to be the state of the world right now, because how can you think of anything uglier than what we are navigating on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis?
It really is so much. And I feel like because it is so, we have like such a weird access to it with social media and we meme everything and everything is a joke. It's also just like, it feels otherworldly.
It does. And it's like the pace in which the tragedies are happening and compounding. It's like in one door, out the other with something new, something every day. How do you keep up?
Yeah.
How do you even keep up?
How do you keep up? How do you grieve? How do you even like stay up to date?
Totally. And how on pessimistic at best do we stay as optimistic as possible?
I know.
Which is why it's so important, fellow listeners, to get out and vote.
So completely
this election cycle and all the ones that follow.
Yes, girl.
Because it is such a scary place. But on a lighter note, that's not what I did for my ugly.
Okay.
But my ugly is just as serious. Okay, I shouldn't say that. but it is serious. It's when you ask your friends if they have tea and they don't have any tea. It's like, you don't have anything?
Right.
What's the tea?
No juice, no
I don't know.
goss.
Oh, God, I can't think of anything. What?
Yeah.
Nothing?
At this point, make something up.
Make something up. Watch a TikTok and tell me what you think about Chappell Roan's latest take on politics. That's enough tea for me.
So true.
Rack your brain.
It doesn't have to be personal.
It doesn't have to be personal, and it doesn't have to be malicious.
Right.
But it has to be juicy.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
No,
God.
I completely agree. And I feel like it's one of those things, too, where it's like, extrapolate a story. There's
No.
got to be something.
I put in time. I work day in and day out to provide tea for you all.
Yeah.
The least you can do is, it's a two-way street.
We're hunting, we're gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Okay, I do completely agree with you.
But luckily, we feel so rich in resources having Aubrey in our networks
I
because
know.
she's a never-ending floodgate of tea.
Such a solid, trustworthy source.
A trustworthy source.
My favorite thing is waking up after a night out and she's like, okay, what's the tea? Who got tea last night?
The tea me text. Tea me.
Yeah.
Tea me. I'm like, yeah, okay, you tea me.
No, seriously.
Totally.
I know you know something.
Well, when she also has like Curtis in her lineup, it's like there's always something.
Right.
There's always something. Honestly,
He's a
where
naughty
I've been
boy.
going for a great source of tea lately, which also ties back into my story about being on Facebook Marketplace, making these purchases so hungover, is that I had deleted Facebook like right after undergrad because I started grad school and was like teaching in classes and I didn't want my students to like find my
Totally.
Facebook and whatever. So I deleted it, hadn't had it for years,
Mhm.
recently re-downloaded to start selling some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and I've had a hard time parting ways because
It's
I
good on
haven't
there.
been on there in years. My friends are people from previous stages of life,
Absolutely.
and there is a goldmine of tea. It
I
is
completely
rich.
agree. Mine is pretty much all people from high school at
Yep.
this point. Maybe even a couple middle school.
Yep.
And the lives that they lead are so unbelievably far from my own.
So different than mine.
And juicy as fuck.
Yes.
And my favorite thing is I feel like they use Facebook like a personal blog.
Yes. It's out there.
It is out there for
And I'm
us
saying
to
thank you.
consume. No,
And I'm going back.
100%.
I am going back to then see the updates because it's not a one life update post. It is, I'm coming back for more.
Plus, there's always like, okay, now I have to dig deeper. I need background context. I need
Yep.
to know who this person is that we're shitting on publicly on this amazing forum.
Yep. And the beauty of it now is that everyone has had it for decades.
Yeah.
And so I can go back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, who are you tagging?
To
Who are you married to
2009,
now?
girl.
Now I'm scrolling through. Those profile pictures.
It's so good.
It's such a good source of tea.
That is so true. I really need to be making better use of that.
Yeah. Scrolling on my iPad with my Apple Pen, like click.
There's nothing more blissful than that.
That's how I wind down.
I
at
love
night.
my iPad.
With my orange dream seated right next to me and my Mormon vlogger on the TV. I am like,
Complete bliss.
yes, name something better.
Seriously.
I can't.
Self-medicating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, literally, that is me every single night. A Mormon vlog on the TV, an orange dream in my hand,
I really
And-
can't think of anything better.
and playing on my iPad.
Living the life.
Yes. It's kind of the life that people dream of.
Absolutely.
I would say. Now, cut to my friends from high school on a podcast talking about how my life is so different than theirs because they're chasing around their 10 kids and I'm
Right.
on my couch on my iPad
We're on
watching
the
Mormon
we're having
micro
iPad time.
influencers. Yeah, we're having iPad time. So, yeah.
It's all about context.
It's all about context and yes.
These lives we lead.
Exactly. And they're beautiful and they're gorgeous.
They are, and they're also
and-
different in their own special way.
Exactly.
Well, and
Exactly.
it is one of those things where I feel like because we all know each other in this like time period of our lives,
Mhm.
like we all have these stories about, like those crazy people from like your past that like nobody's ever going to meet, but sometimes that's the juiciest tea.
Totally.
So we
Totally.
honestly need to, that's where we could be collecting data from Facebook and then coming together to discuss.
Because it's a safe proximity. Like, I'm going to ask you questions about your high school ex because
Yes.
I'm never going to meet them and they're not going
Absolutely.
to know I'm asking.
So true.
But I'm invested.
I'm completely invested.
And tell me about their parents.
Yes.
It's so good. It is so good. My mom is also, we're cut from the same cloth. She's a
Mhm.
tea girl. So
Same.
I can always count on her to call up and say what's going on in the hometown.
Completely same.
Fill me in.
My mom loves to fill me in, and it's so funny because she is dropping first and last names. I'll never meet these people, but I am so glued to
Absolutely.
the screen.
Absolutely. My mom does that shit, and then simultaneously it'll be like, yeah, and like mention like, oh, grandma had surgery. I'm like, so you just told me all the intricate details of our neighbors from 3 houses ago, but you
Yep.
forgot to tell me that grandma was going in
Yeah.
for surgery.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I understand.
I feel like that's because that's not the fun news, you know?
True.
It's not the hot goss.
So true. So true. And she probably was thinking about that surgery all the time. She's probably like, what do I got? Rack my brain. What's the
Yeah.
tea?
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. And her source of tea, I think, is also Facebook. She has a pretty
Yeah.
wide net out there. I think parents' Facebooks are rich and robust.
My mom's incredibly active on the platform.
Yep. Yeah. My mom luckily doesn't post, but she's a scroller.
My mom is very much into, well, she posts a lot of, she's resharing every Democratic
Well, we love
meme out
that.
there. Love it.
Thank
Love it.
you.
Love it. So good. But then she's also, I would say, second highest post count is resharing lost pets from all over Wisconsin.
Oh my
They
God.
could be
She's doing the Lord's work.
thousands of miles away, but she's hitting repost.
Hey, well, you tell your mom, I just saw that a cat, was it a cat, got lost in like Yellowstone and found its way home to California.
Holy shit.
And so just tell her that near or far, her posts can carry weight.
Absolutely.
And these animals can and will come
And
home.
she's making a difference.
And she's making a difference. So tell her thank you.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service,
Oh
queen.
my God. No. And then I see some of my friends' parents who are posting, and I'm like, God bless you for providing me this content. But
I know.
thank you to my mother for not contributing.
No,
her
seriously.
own. God.
It's really crazy. Well, and then I think it's so fascinating because, okay, I feel like, I mean, you and I are probably cusps, dare I say,
Mhm.
on the millennial Gen Z scale.
Totally.
And we might lean a little millennial.
Totally.
Spiritually, I think we lean Gen Z.
Exactly.
And I think that the Facebook of it all is kind of how you can tell where people fall on that cusp.
Totally.
Because there are some incredibly active users who are my same age who, again, have the kids,
Mm-hmm.
have the dog, have the house, probably have already been divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that to be so fascinating because it is such a clear divide of
Totally.
like values, lifestyle choices,
Yes.
and general sort of concept of your own age and
Yep.
where you fall on the scale.
And then I love seeing it then sort of trickle into other platforms like Instagram. Like
Yes.
my Facebook friends who are posting like the kind of like crazy Facebook content are also posting pretty interesting Instagram stories
Yes.
that are like captions so bizarre and have like 1,000 stickers.
Yes,
And I'm
the
like,
stickers.
okay. And then it looks like the photo is like taken and their camera could have been cleaned
Right.
off a little bit.
It's
It's a
the
little greasy.
boomerangs.
It's the boomerangs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah. And I love it.
I
I'm
eat
consuming
it.
it. I'm not going to be reciprocating. I'm not posting,
No.
but I'm watching and I'm observing.
Yeah.
I'm listening and I'm taking notes.
100%.
And if I've been overserved at the bar, I might reply thinking that it's like a direct story to myself. But
it's so good. It's so
whatever.
good. No.
Sue me.
Seriously.
No, it's so good. But anyway, my friends, what's the tea?
I
Give it
know.
to me, girls.
Please. We are begging.
I'm begging.
Hands and knees.
Literally.
Well, I feel like the mission on a night out is like, okay, split up, find something out,
And come back and tell me.
bring it back.
And really, at the end of the day, it's just an exercise in storytelling.
So true.
It's nothing more than that.
That is so completely true.
And it's in our blood.
It is.
Our ancestors were storytellers. And so really we're just carrying on our
Yeah.
role in the human existence
That is so completely true.
by storytelling.
Mhm.
With our friends, with our loved ones.
We're connecting.
We're connecting and we're making memories.
We are making memories.
Mhm. And we're being informed. We're making decisions, comments. We're like, that is such an interesting way to live life.
Yeah.
I won't do that for myself, but I'm
Right.
happy I've seen it play out in this way.
We're passing light judgment.
Yeah. But to make informed decisions.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important for
Right.
friends to spill the tea.
No, so completely true.
'Cause
It informs our next move.
It informs our next moves.
and
yeah.
we're always on the lookout for our next move.
What exactly? what am I not doing if not on the lookout for my next move?
So true.
Literally.
Okay, well, my last question for you.
Mhm.
Is your hater mode activated?
Activated
today?
always. It's always activated.
I love that about you.
Oh my god, I can't turn it off. I went to the doctor and they said, "Sorry,
No, right.
you're stuck with
You're
it."
completely screwed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a tough life that you lead, but
But they said if you're strong and you persevere, you'll make it through.
and look at us now.
And here I am, here to tell the freaking tale.
Seriously.
Well, is your hater mode activated?
I would say absolutely yes.
Okay, good.
On very rare occasions, is it not? But yeah, it was just one of those days, you know, where I feel like I was kind of like, I was looking so forward to this. And I honestly, my hater mode was definitely activated on my way to the gynecologist.
Absolutely.
Hater mode activated.
Absolutely.
It was my first time sort of on the blue line in a while.
Oh my God. Women are incredible.
Yeah.
They really are.
Seriously. But even though I've had an amazing evening, I've had so much fun talking shit about all of these things with you.
Yes.
And that's what life's all about.
Exactly.
Being a hater is actually a really positive
It's healing.
experience.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It's healing. And more people need to do it.
Yeah, get on that.
Yeah.
In fact, if
exactly.
you're not, like, you have a low, your range, you have a small range.
Right. I would just ask why.
I know.
Are you not?
Like, be brave.
Be brave.
Open yourself up to new
And try
experiences.
it. Just try it once. Or
Give it a taste.
twice.
Dip your toes in.
Yeah, dip your toes into being a hater. Spill some tea, and then
Straight
tell us
up.
you're not having fun.
I know.
Then tell us it's
it
not
feels
worth
so
it.
right. It feels so good.
It does.
Well,
It
thank you
does.
for coming on this
My
podcast.
God, anytime. You know where to find me.
I absolutely do.
Woo!
Yay! And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.